Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday, the 3rd of May. With McShane, we continue working through the letter to the Hebrews, today reading the 8th chapter. And the writer has been talking about the new covenant, and that there's a new high priest that will be in the order of Melchizedek, and more than that, there will be a new covenant. And in verse 7 of chapter 8, we read, "For if there had been nothing wrong with that first covenant, no place would have been sought for another. But God found fault with the people and said, 'The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and the people of Judah.'" And so it's a continuing build-up of his logical argument for the Christian faith in the light of the Old Testament and the first covenant. But it's also a case of the writer here then quotes a long extract from Jeremiah chapter 31, where Jeremiah talks about this new covenant. And the writer's looking back and saying, God promised there would be a new covenant. And so this is just a continuation of what was. This is part of God's plan all along. And way back in Jeremiah's time already, he spoke about this. But he's quoting Jeremiah. He's not just making a case. He's going back to the scriptures and saying, this is what God says. And as we talk about the faith, as we think of our faith, as we build the grounds of our faith and what we believe and why we believe it, we have to do the same kind of thing, to go back and say, this is what the scriptures say. And what we're extending and what we're building and what we're doing is based on what scripture teaches. And our encouragement is that we don't just have to go back to the book, because continuing to read from this extract from Jeremiah that the writer quotes, "This is the covenant I will establish with the people of Israel, says the Lord Almighty. After that time, I will put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people." And so God's talking about it's not going to be just written on stone somewhere out there. It's going to be written within us. It's going to be a relationship. We're going to be his people, and our hearts will be molded and shaped by his law. And so we've got to pray to God. God, shape us. Make our hearts shaped by your will. Help us to think your thoughts, to love what you love, to desire what you desire, that we will become more like you. Because that's what the new covenant is all about, that we will become like Jesus in the same way that Jesus is indeed God. And so be encouraged that we have this new covenant. We have the law within us. We have the scriptures that we can refer back to when we have any doubt. We have a faith that is steadfast and certain, built on Christ. That is our hope and our glory. Be blessed.